Human full potential capabilities have never been more utilized than when faced with adversity, when the continued existence of human species is faced with so big a threat that living, acting, and journeying life in solitude represents in itself a problem more than any solution, and resides in multitude and individual the power not only to win but to conquer. To come out triumphant in this extremely difficult period occasioned by COVID-19, the palpable increase in the number of reported cases in recent times has been tied to community transmission of the virus, and as a result, the need for extra stringent measures controlling public places. The first line of action is to embrace lockdown, which, considering the economic variables in the country, must be partial, as that is the only way to limit bodily contact on a large scale and reduce economic and financial constraints fueled by the virus without putting continuous existence of the masses in jeopardy. Therefore, the desirable results could be attained if these prescribed measures are implemented. It's compulsory, as every major city or town in the country is at risk of becoming the new epicenter of the pandemic. Ensuring that the virus does not get to rural areas is paramount in combating the spread. Restricted movement in urban setting. Movement in this setting must be discouraged unless it hinges on survivor. Thus, curfews between the hours of 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. Introducing appointment and transactional complaints portal (USSD) options by banks and other corporate establishments. This, alongside the incumbent cashless policy, will go a long way in curbing unnecessary movement and crowd movement of essential goods. This measure must be retweaked to tighten its loose ends. The carriers of essential commodities must be subjected to further examination in our state's borders. In addition, there should be COVID-19 interstate checkpoints where adherence to face mask usage could be checked, and sample collection materials are made available for collection of samples from the drivers for testing. This could be made easier and effective with temporary seizure of their driving licenses, which could be returned when they report back for the results after delivering the products. Special consideration for food product movement from rural to urban area. The transporter of the products must, prior to the time of movement, inform the local agency to be inaugurated of the local council about the product to be transported, probable date of arrival at and return from the destination, which is the market. Roadside shop must only be allowed to operate on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays between the hours of 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., alternating the opening and closing of certain parts of markets. In an attempt to decongest markets, closing parts of the market while other parts are allowed to open alternatively on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. A committee to ensure implementation and compliance must also be inaugurated. Embargo on interstate movement by persons. While vehicles within the states must operate at 50% capacity, and prescription of compulsory usage of face masks and hand gloves for motorcycle and tricycle riders and passengers. Installation of sample collection centers in all local government areas. Note: it is compulsory to stay informed and updated on COVID-19 virus to stay on top, as government and health professionals continue to roll out new and additional preventive and control measures. The Spanish flu is not fondly remembered only because of the magnitude of casualties recorded, but because of lack of basic survival knowledge that culminated in human failure to adhere to a very simple set of rules. If the world will still be in existence tomorrow, it will be the direct result of our present decisions and actions. And whatever we decide and however we act, history will never forget the role we play. And for ours and the coming few generations' sake, being on the right hand of history will equal to making the right decision to survive collectively now.